Very little,
Really?
very little still. It's very still on the outside. It's very fringe. We have maybe three PhDs on the whole planet that have a background in this movement. Jacob Kimball in Scandinavia is one. And so they are starting to do more work there, in an academic setting. And so there's one conference dedicated to graffiti that happens in Europe every year. Uh, and so you would think that it would be much more, but it's beginning, but none of it is really in the United States. It's really happening overseas. They're definitely more progressive with their understanding of this art form and how it connects to art history and what it means to humanity and to people. And so here we're not there yet. We're really not there yet. There are really no collecting institutions even in the United States for this art form. I mean, and which is why the museum that I co-founded was created, because I'm waiting around for other people to step up to do the work that I think is necessary to be done, but nobody wants to do it. There's no institution stepping up, either from a museum, art institution, or from an academic institution. There's just nobody doing it. There's certain people started waking up and collecting things with hip hop culture and pulling in graffiti art slightly as a result because of our association with hip hop culture, but no one really dedicated to this. And I felt that this is just a tragic mistake, because the men and women that started this movement are alive, but they're also older, and I've realized that most of them are dying. Quite frank, they're just dying, and we've lost most of all the pioneers of this movement have passed away. And so I wanted to create a place that celebrates this movement and is able to interview and talk to these folks while they're still alive, while we can get firsthand information about why they did this and what did they do and who did this and why did they choose to put quotation marks around their name, or a halo and all these things. So unfortunately, no, not enough, nowhere near enough. And I think it's sort of like a misunderstanding or a lack of understanding from academics that are trained in institutions that study art, or that focus on art history, that haven't seen that this is not covered and it needs to be covered, and there needs to be more investigation and more research. And that, and I think a lot of times it's dismissed as purely vandalism with no artistic value, or it's dismissed as purely gang culture. And so maybe that's something for the anthropologists or for the sociologists to study. And so it gets left behind. But I think people are starting to wake up a little bit, but not in a way that is so substantial that I think we're making a dent in it, or that we are seeing it enter into curriculum or coursework, either in universities or even in any other academic setting.